This old man had a strange habit. Every time he went to see his girlfriend, he carried a man on his back. This man had no arms or legs and could only be moved around like an object. The girlfriend, uncomfortable, asked if he needed help. The old man shook his head, said, "No need," and simply shifted the limbless man's body aside. The man's name was Huame. He used to be an artist, but now he was just the old man's money-making tool. The old man would plaster posters on the street, roll open the back of his wagon, set out a stool, light an oil lamp, and just like that, his simple stage was ready. At first, the audience stared at Huame as though he were some kind of freak show. But once the performance began, they realized he had a beautiful voice, told captivating stories, was well-educated, and surprisingly romantic. People quickly grew to love his performances. Every day, the seats were packed, and even when the show ended, the crowd stayed lost in the world he had painted with his words. At that point, the old man would step forward and collect donations, raking in plenty. And he didn't entirely mistreat Huame. He'd feed him a big bowl of meat, spoon it into his mouth, even help him relieve himself. But good times don't last forever. As the weather grew colder, fewer and fewer people showed up. One day, the earnings weren't even enough to buy bread. Frustrated, the old man shoved hot porridge into Huame's mouth. Too hot to swallow, Huame had no choice but to gulp down mouthfuls of snow to fill his stomach. Later, Huame tried switching up his storytelling style, performing with more passion and effort. But one day, only 3 spectators showed up. Defeated, the old man packed up. Then he noticed a lively crowd gathered nearby. Curious, he walked over. At the center of the stage was a chicken. The owner called it the math chicken, claiming it could do addition and subtraction within 30.
Take away 7.
The old man suddenly understood. Audiences weren't gone because of the cold. They had simply lost interest in Huame's act. So he spent heavily to buy the chicken and a big sack of feed, treating it like his own son. Meanwhile, Huame went hungry, watching silently as the old man doted on the bird. As they traveled on to the next town, the chicken clucked happily inside its cage. For the first time, Huame felt like the wagon he lived in was nothing more than his own chicken coop. Soon, the old man stopped at a bridge. He lifted a stone, tossed it into the river, and watched the splash with satisfaction. Smiling, he turned to Huame. What came next was obvious. When it was over, only the old man and his math chicken remained in the snowy wind. Sitting in the wagon, Huame had long sensed this ending. He didn't even struggle. Maybe losing his limbs had already been the price for resisting fate. No matter how brilliant or soulful you are, if your talent no longer makes money, you're discarded without hesitation.